Mudra seals for sealing energy after awakening. The subtle science of containment, retention, and return to source. Opening transmission. There comes a moment on the spiritual path when silence is no longer unfamiliar, when the breath begins to slow without effort, when the inner light rises without force, when the presence behind thought becomes steady like the sun behind clouds, and then something else begins to happen. The energy awakens, sometimes as heat in the spine, sometimes as a cool fountain behind the forehead, sometimes as a radiant pulse in the chest or crown. And in that moment, if not guided well, this sacred energy can escape. It leaks into thoughts, it floods into restlessness, it spills into speech, tension, or even identity. This is why the ancient yogis developed mudra seals, not as decoration, not as rituals, but as sacred intentional closures of the subtle body, so that awakened energy can be retained, refined, and returned to its source. This is the art of sealing the vessel after the fire has been lit. Let us now enter the science of mudra seals, not as symbols but as gateways to deeper stillness and subtle mastery. 1. What are mudra seals? The word mudra is often misunderstood. In modern contexts, it's reduced to hand gestures or stylized poses. But in the true yogic sense, mudras are energetic configurations. They are locks that guide or hold energy in place, gestures of containment that affect breath, mind, and body simultaneously, seals that create a closed loop so that subtle energy does not escape into the senses or thought. These seals are not performed for performance. They are practiced during or after deep absorption, when the inner energy has begun to awaken. Just as a pot must be sealed after it is filled, so must the body be sealed when the sacred current has risen. 2. Why energy needs to be sealed after awakening. When true spiritual energy awakens, whether slowly over time or suddenly through meditation, breathwork, or grace, it becomes luminous but unstable. If left unsealed, this energy can rise too fast and escape through the crown or eyes, disperse into speech, causing overstimulation or scattered mind, leak into the lower body, causing heat, confusion, or sexual imbalance. Trigger identity reformation, where the ego tries to own. The awakening, sealing energy does not mean suppressing it. It means honoring it. It means creating the conditions for inner flowering. By sealing the subtle gates, we allow the energy to refine, to stabilize, and to begin transforming the deeper layers of the psyche. This is the alchemy of inward containment. 3. The 3 primary energy leaks and how mudras seal them. Leak number 1. Through the eyes and mind. When energy rises upward, it often escapes through the eyes, via mental chatter, visual fixation, or imagination. Seal, the gaze lock, centering focus behind the brow. Soften the gaze. Let attention rest behind the forehead, as if listening inward. This holds the energy in the frontal brain, preventing escape into visual thought. You don't need to roll the eyes or strain. Just return awareness gently to the space between looking and knowing. Leak number 2. Through the tongue and speech. Speech is one of the most common energy drains after awakening. Talking too soon after meditation disperses subtle energy. Seal, the tongue lock, tip resting gently at the roof of the mouth. Place the tongue lightly against the upper palate, just behind the front teeth. Let it rest there, soft and wide. This subtle seal redirects energy upward and quietens the inner speech reflex. Do not press or force. This is not a muscle move. It is a gesture of silence, inviting the energy to rise and stay. Leak number 3, through the base and senses. After awakening, energy can flood downward into sexuality, emotions, or external cravings. Seal, the root lock, lifting the base subtly inward. While seated, gently draw the pelvic floor inward and upward, not tightly, but like holding a drop of sacred nectar. This creates a containment at the base, preserving inner heat and upward flow. This is not about clenching, it is about reverence. Think of it like closing the base of a candle, so the flame continues rising rather than spilling out. 4. The inner mudra, sealing without movement. At more advanced levels, the true mudra becomes invisible. No hands, no posture, no effort. It becomes an inner intention. You sit still and awareness refuses to move outward. You do not reach, you do not follow thoughts. You do not open the senses. You do not identify with form. This becomes the mudra of containment. It is not something you do. It is something you allow when the practice has matured and the vessel has been shaped by inner discipline. In this inner seal, the energy rises and then returns inward, completing the circuit of self-liberation. 5. The sequence of sealing after deep meditation. Here is a sacred practice sequence to follow after absorption. 1. Do not open your eyes immediately. Remain in darkness a little longer. 2. Bring attention to the brow point. Let awareness center behind the forehead. This seals the upward current. 3. Rest the tongue gently on the upper palate. Let the inner speech stop before the outer speech returns. 4. Draw the root upward lightly. Contain the base. Hold the heat. Preserve the nectar. 5. Remain in the inner silence for 1 to 3 minutes before re-engaging with thought or movement. This is not a rigid protocol. It is a sacred gesture of preservation, a way of saying to the inner current, I will not waste you. I will hold you until you refine me. 6. Signs that the seal has taken hold. When mudra seals are practiced sincerely after awakening, the energy feels stabilized, not scattered. Thought does not restart quickly. There is a warm, retained glow in the body. The breath is calm, even absent. There is a sense of inner fullness, as if the body is holding light. Most importantly, there is no urge to speak. There is no craving for stimulation. There is no leakage into identity. Instead, there is a growing sense of still dignity, as if the soul has chosen to rest inside its own temple. 7. The sacred reason sealing matters. Without sealing, awakening dissipates. The fire burns too fast and vanishes. The nectar rises and evaporates. The clarity gets hijacked by identity. But when you seal the energy, gently, reverently, you allow the sacred force to gather in the heart. It does not scatter. It does not perform. It becomes steady, quiet, alive. And in that containment, something new begins. The energy becomes intelligence. The stillness becomes power. The silence becomes radiant. This is the true gift of mudra seals. Not technique, not ritual, but the return of the awakened current back into stillness. Mystical reflection. After the lamp has been lit, do not walk into the wind. After the waters have risen, do not leave the jar uncapped. After the silence has deepened, do not rush to speak. There's a time for expansion, and there's a time for containment. Mudra seals are not things you do. They are things you become. A hand that holds without grasping, a tongue that tastes without speaking, a root that grounds without gripping, a mind that watches without naming. This is the sacred closure, the soft descent, the sealing of the vessel before the nectar is lost. Let the energy rise, let the awakening bloom, and then seal the gate. So that light may remain as presence, and presence may return to source. If this sacred teaching helped you understand how to protect, honor, and deepen the energy that awakening brings, consider subscribing to the channel for more transmissions on subtle mastery, stillness, and inner alchemy. If you feel called to support this sacred work, becoming a member helps keep these teachings alive, offering timeless wisdom to seekers around the world. Next episode, the hidden practice of inner touch, subtle tactile samadhi. Let us meet where sensation no longer belongs to the body, but becomes the field of presence itself.